filming for vlogs lately because I've been pretty busy over the past several days actually. On Friday we got Thursday we got rid of our old washing machine. We were actually just going to get rid of it, but my father-in-law's washing machine broke literally the day before we were about to get our new one, so we ended up just cleaning everything up and giving it to them. So we helped them move that out of our place to theirs, and our laundry is actually on the second floor in this house, and we have a weird L-shaped staircase, so it was a little bit you know, getting it down the stairs, but we did that. And then on Friday we got our brand new washing machine delivered to us. You know you're an adult when you're excited about appliances. But we got a LG front loader and it is beautiful, you guys. It is a black steel, yeah, so it's like a stainless steel finish, but instead of being stainless steel it's black, but it has that sort of steel-ish look underneath the black. It's amazing. I love it. And it's so quiet and so like just more efficient than our old one. It's also bigger than our old one. So super excited for that because we have needed to get a new washing machine for a while, because the one we had was just way too small and it was like 8 years old, so it was time to get a new one. So this one we got on 9 kilo, and excuse me, my nose is running. The wind is super cold here, so it makes my nose run. But yeah, so we have needed a new washing machine for a while because our old washing machine was only 6.5 kilos, which is not that big. And we needed much bigger to fit like all of our bedding in. While we still washed our bedding in the old one, it was just a lot more difficult because it just didn't fit right in there. So super excited for that. And then on Saturday we actually got our new fridge delivered, because we decided the fridge that we have is 8 years old. There's nothing wrong with it, it still works perfectly fine, but it's just not what we wanted. Like we bought that when we like 8 years ago. It was like our first fridge that we bought because all the other houses that we had lived in together already came with fridges. So 8 years ago, when we bought that fridge, we had moved into a house that didn't come with a fridge, so we had to go out and buy a fridge, and that's the one we had chose at the time, and it was just a Whirlpool and it was white. And I don't care for white appliances, but at the time that's what we could afford, and it still works great. But it's one of those fridges that you have the freezer at the top and then the fridge at the bottom, and I hate that. I prefer my fridge at the top and then the freezer at the bottom, because the freezer has, like, when you open the freezer door, it's got the drawers in it. Because we have a deep freezer, so we put most of our frozen stuff in the deep freezer, and then the freezer that's attached to the fridge we just purely use for like ice and like drinks and snacks and things. So we prefer our fridge to be up top also, so you're not bending down all the time, because I have a bad back, so having to bend down, especially to the very bottom, was like just not like fun. So the fridge that we got is also an LG, so they match. It's also black steel, so our fridge and our washing machine match. I'm so happy with them, they are amazing. But let me tell you guys, fridges and washing machines are so friggin' expensive. So expensive. We did manage to get a bit of a discount on both of them, but they still cost us and we used tax money to buy our tax return to buy the washing machine and the fridge, but by the time we bought everything it come to about 2,300. It's a lot. It's a lot, you guys. I just like can't believe how expensive like home appliances are. It's ridiculous. But yes, we got those, and we also picked ones that were more energy efficient and also more water efficient for the washing machine, because we do have to pay our water bills here. I know not a lot of rentals do, but we do here, and I just got my water bill yesterday and it was super high, so But that's kind of what I've been doing. And then on Monday, we had a chill, like relaxed day on Sunday, because after having to move all that heavy stuff, like we did have the washing machine and the fridge delivered, but we had to move it into its place and everything like that. And after doing that, oh my god, my body was so sore on Sunday, because that washing machine is heavy, you guys. It was a bitch to get it in the laundry. So the delivery guys delivered it to our house, and they did take away the boxes for the washing machine, and they did carry it up the stairs for us. But the delivery guys that delivered it like there was 3 of them, and they were huge. Like, these dudes were super tall and like really like big guys, and there was no way that they were going to be able to get that into our laundry, because they were way too big to be able to fit through the doorway and put it into the spot, because it's an awkward, like, narrow area. There was just no way that they were going to be able to do that. So we got them just to take it up to the top landing, and then we moved it the rest of the way ourselves. And it was hard, let me tell you. That thing weighs a ton. They, like LG and actually all appliances, if you're listening, I know you're not, but if you are, put some wheels on those things. Our fridge though, oh, so easy, because the fridge actually does have wheels on the back, not the front. The front has just normal like feet, but the back has wheels. I had no idea that it had that, but it does. I was so happy, and that thing just glided across the floor like it was butter. It was amazing. So that's kind of why I really haven't been doing like filming, because I've just been so busy like organizing stuff, and also going through things and getting rid of it, because like we're just going through that stage at the moment where we are really paring down our stuff. And then on Monday we actually went to Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary here in Brisbane. I didn't get any video because I really just wanted to be in the moment. I did take tons of photos though. So I will show you photos at the end of this vlog of like what I took. I took so many photos, you guys. I take like tons of photos when it comes to animals. And we had such an amazing day. It was really good. So Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary is actually the oldest sanctuary in the world. I believe it was opened in, I think it was 1927. And the original person who actually opened the sanctuary opened it because back in the 20s, koalas were actually being hunted for the fur trade. And koalas were being slaughtered in the thousands for their fur to make into all sorts of things like hats and you know, coats and things like that, which is just, in my opinion, disgusting. The fur trade is a terrible, terrible thing. And I still don't understand why people even have a fur trade still today. It infuriates me. But this amazing man, and I'm sorry, I can't think of his name right now, but he saw a need to protect koalas. So in 1927 he did open this sanctuary, and he started, you know, giving sanctuary to koalas, and it has turned into not just a sanctuary for koalas, it is an actual like parkland now. It's predominantly koalas, but they do have wombats there. They have kangaroos, emus, cassowaries, Tasmanian devils, platypus, because platypus you can only get in Australia. They also have an echidna. I couldn't quite see the echidna when I went there because he was a little bit shy and hiding, but that's okay. There was tons of lizards there, dingoes. We've also got dingoes there. They have a section where you can actually walk into an open, like a big open enclosure where you can feed the kangaroos. And so the kangaroos and the emus are actually walking around the enclosure, so you can go up to them and feed them. The emus scare the shit out of me though, because those birds are like my size, and they make these noises that just make me uncomfortable. But I did feed the kangaroos, so I do have pictures of that as well. So that's kind of what we did on Monday. So we had a really good day together, I Also went to t.k.maxx because we had gone to, where was it? JB Hi-Fi, because we were looking at fridges. That's right, we were looking at the fridge because we wanted to make sure we had to measure the fridge to see if it was going to fit in the spot, because whoever built this house was a dick, excuse my language, and did not consider a size of a fridge, because the size of the fridge area is like, doesn't really cater for fridges these days, because the fridge that we got literally has 1 centimeter gap between the top of the fridge and the friggin' shelf above it, and it was the only fridge that we could find that actually fit in that spot. All the other fridges were too tall, so that's why we had to, like, we were super just like skeptical, but it was the only one we could find that fit. But we actually also love it as well. It's black steel as well, so it matches the washing machine. But we were at JB Hi-Fi, and JB Hi-Fi is in the same complex as t.k.maxx. The t.k.maxx I go to though, total shit show. It never has anything in there, but when I was in there, they had started to just put a couple of things out for Halloween, which I was really surprised at. It was super early this year, not complaining. I love Halloween stuff, and I came across a couple of things and I was like, yes, had to grab them, so I did, and I will show you. I got, let me just see here. So first thing I got was actually a 2-pack of hand towels, and I've already taken them out of their packaging and washed them because I was actually testing out my new washing machine. But this is what they look like. They are great. I've got it folded in half at the moment, but they've got the cutest little embroidered Halloween dogs on the front. Like, look at that. Aren't they adorable? When I saw this, I had to get them. It is a brand called Well Dressed Home. I've never heard of that brand before. Maybe it's new this year, I'm not sure. But it comes with a set of 2, so one's going to go into the ensuite, and then one is going to go into the main bathroom of our house, because we do have 2 bathrooms. And I love them. I think these are so perfect because a lot of my Halloween decorations are dog themed. And these were $14.95 for a set of 2. So that's those. And then I found a set of 3 tea towels. Now I've only got 2 of them with me at the moment. The other one's downstairs. It's just a plain white with thin black stripes on it. So I had washed those as well, and Nate was eager to put it in the kitchen. So it's already in the kitchen. But the Halloween ones I've got here to show you, and they are so cute. So the tea towels were a set of 3 for $14.95. And they are so cute, you guys. So I've got it folded in half so you can see better, but it again is little Halloween dogs. So it is a grey, and it's got all of the little dash hounds in their little Halloween costumes. So you've got a mummy, you've got a witch, you've got a little pumpkin, and they're little carrying like their little jack-o'-lantern pails. Like, oh, these are so cute, you guys. And then the other one, which is, I think, my favorite, excuse me, allergies, also great, but it's got bees on the front. It's so cute, and it just says Happy Halloweeny. Oh my god, adorable. And then it's got the little dash hound dogs on it. So cute, you guys. I died when I saw these. I snatched these up so fast. I was like, I will cut up, you know what, if they take these from me. Because here's the thing, the t.k.maxx I go to, actually all t.k.maxx's here in Australia, bitches be crazy, excuse my language, but they are, like, I literally, every time I go into a t.k.maxx, I have someone follow me all the time to see what I'm buying, to see if they can quickly snatch it up first. You gotta get rough in t.k.maxx. It's like ridiculous in there. Like, I legit had a woman one day when I was in t.k.maxx looking at Halloween stuff actually like come past me and shove me so she could snatch something off the shelf before I would get to it, and I, like, what she had snatched off the shelf, I wasn't even looking at, I didn't even care about, but she was just like, just one of those rude bitches. And she literally, like, I'm shorter than like most people, and she literally just shoved me out the road, and I was like, oh my god, like, I will fight you, lady, like, I'm ready to throw down. Like, I'm normally pretty chill, like, I'll take a lot of crap, but like, when people actually physically touch me in a store, all bets are off. Like, I'm good to throw down. I know it probably sounds crazy, but I don't care. Like, seriously, it's not worth that type of behavior. Like, and it's women. It's always women. Women are the worst behaved human beings when it comes to shopping. Absolute total animals. And it's like, it's a freaking Halloween decoration. Calm down. Like, your life is not over if you can't get it. Like, suck it up. But I was just like, you've got to be fast is what I'm saying though. If you see something that you want in t.k.maxx, don't like put it in your trolley or carry it with you until you decide whether you want it or not, because it will be gone, or someone will snatch it, or like, yeah, people are just, I don't know about America, or do they have them in Canada? I don't know. They have like, I know you guys in America call it t.j.maxx, but in Australia we call it t.k.maxx. And I'm pretty sure it's called t.k.maxx in England as well. Yeah, I think it is. But like, I don't know if it's like that in America or in England or anything like that, but they're just freaking rude. Like, rude. And like, the t.k.maxx I go to is on the side of a highway. It's kind of in a really super like ghetto industrial area. It's like, it's trash, let's be real here. And the store always looks like trash, and it's like the closest store to me though. The next one's like over 30 minutes away, and then the next one from that is an hour away from me, so like, I don't really have much of a choice. Like, that's my t.k.maxx. And also, like, here in Australia, you cannot buy off of the website like you can in America. We don't, like, we have a website, but you can't buy anything off there. It doesn't even have anything on there regards to products. It's just like, oh, look at these finds that other people have found on Instagram. Like, it's just, that's like literally it. But I'm super excited for these, you guys. And I saw someone had posted on the t.k.maxx Australia, like, fans, like, Facebook page. Someone had posted that they had a table runner that matched my dogs. Now, they didn't have their all their Halloween stuff out when I went there. They only had the tea towels out and a few glass pumpkins. That was it. So they haven't fully put out their stuff yet. So I knew they didn't have it yet. But I am on the hunt for that table runner. I want it because it matches the rest of my Halloween dogs, you guys. So I'm going to try and hunt that down if I can. It's probably like a bazillion bucks. t.k.maxx is super expensive here in Australia. And it's funny because, like, on the fan page, I always see people like, oh my god, look how cheap this is. And it's funny because, like, I can clearly tell a person that's never seen the prices of the American ones. So to them it's cheap, but because I watch a lot of American YouTubers and I know the prices of the Americans, like, for the exact same product here in Australia to America, how much more we pay for it here in Australia. And it makes me laugh because they're all like, oh, I picked this up and this cost me $60. This is an amazing deal. And I'm like, bitch, no it ain't. You just got ripped. But it's just like, yeah, you can tell like the people that have like zero idea of how much it costs in America, because clearly they're not obsessed like I am. But like, it just makes me laugh, like, the things people think are cheap, but because I know the prices in other countries, I'm like, like, I don't know how much these would be in America, but this was, like I said, a set of 3 for $14.95. I assume it's probably more like 10 or 12 in America for that, so that's not too bad. Obviously I understand Australia is more expensive, so we do pay more, but it's just, you know, there's that. So yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing for the past, I don't know, week. I have actually started reading House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. I'm loving that. Oh, I am loving that. But if you aren't into like super scary stuff, maybe don't read it at nighttime like I've been doing. Because I've been reading at nighttime and I have insomnia at the best of times, but especially now since I'm on Duromine. Duromine does cause insomnia. So my insomnia is a lot less. So I'm up nearly every night until 2 or 3 in the morning. Even if I'm tired, I can't help it. I just can't sleep, unfortunately. So Nate goes to bed a lot earlier than me. He normally is in bed by 12. 12 on a night that he doesn't work, about 10:30 on a night that he does have to work because he gets up super early for work. But because we're off work at the moment, he's been going to bed at about 12:30, 1, and I've been up until like 2 or 3. Terrible habit, I know, and I try to go to bed earlier, but I just can't with my insomnia. So when he goes to bed, I actually do my YouTube editing. I upload my videos to YouTube because you guys know how bad my internet is. My internet's actually gotten worse in the last couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on, but this is literally probably the biggest reason why I don't upload to a schedule. So my last video that went live on my channel, which is already up and you guys have probably already watched it, actually took 4.5 days to upload to YouTube. And I have to actually pause the upload during the daytime because if I do, you can't use the, like if I don't pause it during the day, you can't use the internet at all, like at all. So I'm currently trying to upload my next video and we're into the 3rd day now. It's 3 days that it's been loaded, like, you know, so I leave it running through the night when I go to bed. Not last night, but the night before, it only uploaded 3% during the whole entire night. Like, I didn't get out of bed until 10 o'clock yesterday morning because I sleep so, like, I don't go to bed until so late, and I also don't need to go anywhere. Like, I get up a lot later, and it had only uploaded 3% the whole entire time, and I had started the upload at midnight, so midnight till 10, 3%, that's it. So it's just so freaking hard to upload YouTube videos. So we are actually looking into cancelling the internet we're with and going with another provider, because the provider we're with are a bunch of dicks. And it's like we pay $90 a month for like good internet, and we have less than 1 megabyte per second upload speed. Ridiculous. So that's why it just takes me such a long time, and my vlogs never ever go up in real time. Like if I film a vlog, it's not loading the next day. It'll take a long time to get up there. That's why they're never like current, because I just can't, I physically can't do it. So while I've been doing that, I've been reading House of Hollow. Like I said, I started that, I don't know when I started, last week I think, I don't know. I think I'm up to about chapter 12, and let me tell you, there are some bits in there that, like, this is not a kid's story. I don't even think it's really, I don't know if it's marketed as young adult or not. There are definitely parts in there that maybe shouldn't be read by people under the age of, I'd say, 15, because some of them are a little bit, I think, too adult for even some teenagers. There's definitely some murder that happens in there. There is talk of I guess pedophiles in a way. Like, I don't want to say it talks about it as such, but it just mentions it briefly in passing about like a teacher like forcing himself like onto one of the sisters, and it mentions it like very briefly. It does not go into detail, but it does mention it. So like I feel like there is definitely some like adult topics in there. There's quite a bit of murder in there, and some of it does go into quite gory detail as well. So there's that factor. So I definitely think this is a book for, oh, excuse me, yawning, more mature readers. I think like if I read that when I was a teenager, and like, because my mum, like, she didn't have a problem, because I read like all the time as a child, and you know, she didn't really look into the books I was reading because like reading wasn't really her thing, so she was never too concerned about like me reading things that were inappropriate, because I never really did. But I think if I had read that book as a child, it like the book doesn't seem like it would be, you know, that like adult themed, if you mean like, if you know what I mean. Like obviously, you know, someone's gonna die, or like children get kidnapped in this book, but like it doesn't, like the detailed description that it gives you doesn't sort of go like, doesn't make you think that it'd be that bad. But it's definitely something I don't think my mom would have approved of me reading when I was younger. But I'm loving it though, you guys. I actually am loving the book a lot, and I've been reading, I'd say about 2 chapters a night. Like I haven't been reading a ton. I've just like really been in a reading slump. Like you guys have heard me say this for quite some time. I've been in like a total reading slump. So I don't want to burn myself out. So I just read 2 chapters a night, and I feel like that's a good pace for me at the moment until I get back into my reading groove. And yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing. It's really cold today. It's, actually I didn't even say what day it is. It's Wednesday, you guys. It's the 25th, I think. Let me check my phone. Yes, it's the 25th of August, so it's Wednesday. We were going to go to the Botanic Gardens yesterday, but we woke up to a huge storm. It was like massive, and it was so cold. It didn't rain the whole day, it was just the morning, but like after it had rained, and it rained heavy, the wind, there was no way we could walk through the botanics, because the Botanic Gardens, there's 2 in Brisbane. There's one in the city, and then there's the one that I go to, which is just out of the city, and it's on a huge acreage, and it's a rainforest essentially. Good, like huge chunks of the botanics are rainforest, so you're walking through enclosed like tree canopies. And even during summer it can get cold in there, and I knew yesterday that if we had gone, we would have been just so miserable, because the wind yesterday was like ice razor blades. It was so freaking cold. So we didn't end up going. We were thinking about going today, because it is a beautiful sunny day, but again today the wind is just so icy cold, and we thought we'll just leave it today. But I did go to the Arboretum near my house, because I love going there. It's just such a peaceful area, surrounded by nature and just animals and birds and things. And I love going there because, as you guys have heard me mention before, I love ducks. I'm obsessed with ducks. Just love them so much. And they have a huge like lake, if you can call it that. I don't want to call it a pond, because it's definitely way bigger than a pond. It does have like, there's 2 sections. There's like one here and one here, and then there's a dirt pathway through the center. But each of the big like lakes, ponds, whatever you want to call them, has an island in the middle of each one of them. People can't get to the islands. They're purely for the animals and birds and things like that, and that's where they all nest. And it is officially nesting season for a lot of things, but for ducks. And when we were there today, we were walking along the dirt path in between the 2 pond areas, and we saw the first 2 babies of the season. I was so excited. I got pictures, so we'll add that in too. But they were so tiny, you guys. There was only 2 of them, and they were with their mama, and their mama was so protective of them. She was so adorable. But you could tell, based on how small they were, that they would have only just hatched in the last day or 2. They were so tiny, but they were adorable, you guys. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with baby dogs. Sorry, my camera cut off. But yeah, there was 2 baby ducklings. I'm so excited. So yeah, we saw that today. That made my day. I'm simple. You don't need to do much to make me happy. And that's kind of really all we have done today. I'm gonna try and do some more video editing because I've got a bunch of haul videos that I need to edit. It's just been tough with, you know, everything. Trying to get the stupid internet to load. But hopefully tomorrow, we're not 100% certain yet, just depends on the weather because we've had to put a couple of things off due to weather and stuff like that. But hopefully tomorrow we're going to go to the zoo. It's called Wildlife HQ up on the Sunshine Coast. I want to say it's about an hour and a half away from where I live. It's a bit of a drive, so, but we've never been there before. I've lived in Brisbane for 16 going on 17 years. Was it 16? Yeah, 16 going on 17 years. And I've never been to that zoo, like ever. And Nate and I keep saying every year we're going to go there, and we just never have. And then we were going to go there last year, but then obviously COVID happened, and we decided it would be best to steer clear of like places like that. But we are doing pretty good here in Queensland. We're actually doing great in Queensland compared to New South Wales. Like, what, I think there was over 900 new cases today. New South Wales is a total, excuse my language here, but total clusterfuck with their COVID cases. Like, it was just handled so poorly, continues to be handled so poorly. The Premier of New South Wales pretty much come out and said that she wants to reopen everything, even though they have like nearly 1,000 cases a day of the Delta strain. And she said people are just going to have to get used to living with Delta and get used to dying. What kind of bullshit is that? What, like, you must be the most cold-hearted bitch, excuse my language again, but it is what it is, to just not care about people dying and just tell people just to get used to death. Like, really? Because, like, here in Queensland, I think we have maybe 3 cases or something like that. It's probably a little bit more than that, but like 3 new cases. That's it. That's it. That's all we've got. Like, we handle our shit here. Well, yes, it annoys people being in lockdowns. Our lockdowns are aggressive, and like we just snap into it for like 3 days to a week, and then we're good. We're good. We handle it from the beginning, and we're good, and we open up super fast. New South Wales, on the other hand, it's a free-for-all over there. But that's why we like kind of put off a lot of things, because, you know, we were just unsure with everything. But we're doing pretty decent here in Queensland, so we do have a lot more freedoms here than other states. So we would like to try and do a few things, and they do have a, at the Wildlife HQ, they've got 2 things that I've wanted to see for like the longest time. One is meerkats, because they are the cutest frigging things of life. They're so adorable and so mischievous and so tiny, and it's just like the adults only grow to about the size of one of these, like in height. They're tiny. And you can, like, it's actually quite affordable to go. I want to say it's like $32 for adults, which is amazing, because normally zoos here in Australia can run you from about 50 to 100 per person. Like, for instance, the SeaWorld, I think that's about $90 per person or $80 per person. So like the fact that this wildlife at this zoo, and it's a large zoo, is $32, I'm here for that. You do though, they have like these extra things you can pay for, like feeding the meerkats, which I would love to do, and you get a photo with them, that as well, but that's an extra $50 on top. Worth it in my opinion. There's also quokkas. Quokkas are so adorable. Oh my god, they are just the happiest little animals, and they're always smiling, these little animals. They're just amazing. I love them. They do have an thing where you can pay, I think, $50 to have a photo taken with them as well. And all of the money that they raise from doing this goes into wildlife rehabilitation, conservation, and all that sort of stuff, because especially quokkas here in Australia, because they are in the wild here, there are actually some a-hole people out there that do sometimes do terrible things to animals, and I've seen a few instances where they have brutally injured quokkas. So, you know, people are assholes. Also, there is an island here in Australia, I can't think of the name now, but people have been feeding the quokkas friggin' human food, and like human food. I don't understand why people are so friggin' stupid. You cannot feed a wild animal human food. They're not humans. You shouldn't even really be feeding pets human food. Like, why is this concept so friggin' hard for so many people to understand? Stop feeding the friggin' quokkas chips and bread and stuff like this. They're not designed to take this food. And so the poor little quokkas, they're not very big, they're only about yay big. They get really sick. So a lot of our zoos and like wildlife places here in Australia are actually conservation places and rehabilitation places. And for the animals that cannot be rehabilitated back into the wild, they get kept in a lot of the zoos and become ambassadors to help raise money and awareness and stuff like that. And I think that's great because otherwise, if you didn't have these places, I mean, and I'm not speaking for all countries, I don't know what all countries are like, but I just know for here in Australia, if we didn't have a lot of these zoos and wildlife places, these poor animals that aren't able to go back into the wild because they wouldn't be able to care for themselves would actually get put down. And so these beautiful animals are actually getting a second chance at life, and they are treated so well. So a lot of our zoos also house quite large animal hospitals and things like that as well. So I really love going to these places and supporting these places, especially like when I went to Lone Pine on Monday. That's the largest koala sanctuary in the world. I believe they even have a Guinness Book of World Records because of the size of it, because they do take in like all of the koalas and things like that. Also, they have, I think it's 7, I can't remember, it's between 6 and 9 anyway, but they have between 6 and 9 of their own eucalyptus plantations to feed all of the koalas, because they bring in 1/2 ton of eucalyptus leaves for koalas every day. They also have access to, I believe, 9 private farms where the farmers that own, like, you know, own the properties, allow them to come through and harvest the eucalyptus leaves off their farms as well. So that way they have a sustainable food source for koalas. Because you can't just be going and buying eucalyptuses from like a food supply like you can with like other animals, because they need fresh eucalyptus like leaves every day, and they eat a lot. So like, see, things like that I think are amazing, and so the money that they raise goes towards like that sort of stuff, which I think is just, you know, incredible, especially because we had at the beginning of last year and Christmas 2019 those huge bushfires all over Australia, and unfortunately the koala population took a drastic hit, and a lot of them died in the fires. So, and a lot of like the habitats died as well, like they were just scorched and completely ruined by these bushfires. These bushfires in Australia were just, yeah, like I don't even have words for it. It was so heartbreaking and just so sad to watch, and there were so many injured animals and so many of them died. I believe they estimated in the billions, like billions of animals died. It was really sad. So koala sanctuaries like Lone Pine, then they're not the only one, but they're the largest one in Australia, took on care of a lot of the koalas, because they have hospitals and things like that there. So I was more than happy to pay the price for entry and to buy little things that the money helps raise to support the health of these animals. So yeah, so that's what we kind of like have planned for this week. But it just all permits to weather and stuff like that as well. So yeah, so that's kind of why I haven't been filming. I've just been so busy doing things. But I will do some filming probably later, maybe not tonight. I think I might leave it here tonight and just like focus on getting some stuff done, because to be honest with you, I actually haven't even done, this is how busy I've been. I've done no knitting in a week. I haven't knit anything in a week, and that's unheard of for me. I normally knit every day. No knitting for a week. So oh, my eye is so itchy. My allergies are just playing up like mad at the moment, because it's we begin spring next week, so my allergies are just like driving me nuts. And because it's been windy for the last 2-3 days, I guess it's stirring up all the, you know, stuff outside. So but yeah, so I'm gonna leave it here, because this was a rather long ramble of me talking and not much showing. But yeah, that's just what I've been doing, you guys. I haven't been doing much. But like I said, I'm gonna get into editing some more videos, looking for some patterns for these Halloween socks, and also get into some knitting, like actually do some knitting, and finish some projects that I need to finish and get sent off to family and stuff like that. You guys, I'm the worst, seriously the worst. And just, that's kind of what my afternoon's gonna be like. I really haven't got much planned today. It was just nice to have a chill day, like, because, you know, it gets exhausting running around all the time. But it's been so good to be able to do these things, and especially because Nate and I don't really get to do this sort of stuff a lot. Like, he works full-time, I work part-time, but I'm out of the house about 30 odd hours a week, like with work and public transport and stuff. And then obviously because he works full-time, he's out of the house way more than I am, so we don't really get to do like a ton of stuff together. And we do, like, I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. He has Friday and Saturday off, so that kind of really only leaves us a Friday to do anything like going to like zoos and things like that, because Nate and I don't do anything on Saturdays, because I'm just going to say it, I'm not a people person, either is he. We freaking hate going out to public places and there's just a shit ton of people. Cannot stand it. And people are rude. Like, I don't want to deal with that, because I already deal with that at work, because I work retail. I don't need to deal with that on my day off either. So we don't go a lot of places, because we just don't want to deal with that type of shit on the weekend, when it's like the most busiest is like a Saturday. And we both work on Sundays, so like, you know, we don't get to do a lot of this stuff, so we do have to put off most things until we get to have time off together, which we only get once a year, which is now, like August basically. So like, yeah, we've got to cram as much as we can into like days. We also cram like we literally leave everything to this time frame. So like, if we need to buy really big pieces of furniture and stuff like that, we wait until our holidays, because then we're actually home to organize, like have it delivered. Otherwise I would have to take time off work. Like any like repairs and stuff that need done, we wait until then. Like, obviously major repairs get done immediately, but if it's something that doesn't need immediate attention, it waits until then, so that we can be home for it to be done. So our holidays are always busy. So yeah, it's just that time of year that we literally cram everything in. So it was just nice to have a day to do nothing really, and just chill at home, and just, yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to jump on my computer and do some editing, and also probably binge watch. I've been binge watching Torchwood. I don't know if people know what that show is. It's not a new show. It's, I don't even remember when it was filmed, to be honest with you. It was a while ago. I mean, they use flip phones in there, so it was a while ago. But Torchwood would be, I guess you could call it a spin-off of Doctor Who. If you've never seen Torchwood, Captain Jack Harkness, which appeared in Doctor Who a few times. I honestly haven't seen all of the seasons of Doctor Who. I think I've seen up to about season 4 or 5. Is the main character of Torchwood. So he runs like a secretive like agency that's not run by the government, but the government know about type of thing, and it deals with aliens essentially, so that the general public don't know and find out about aliens. But that's essentially what it is. It's about that. So it's kind of a spin-off of Doctor Who, kind of. And I found it on Stan, which is, if you're not from Australia, it's a streaming platform here. And I was excited because I've seen it before. Like, I think I've watched the first season before. And I honestly have no idea how many seasons there are, but there's 4 seasons on Stan, so I was excited. So that's what I was doing last night, was binge watching Torchwood. So yes. So anyway guys, I rambled enough. I feel like this week's vlog is going to be a 2-parter because I talk a lot. Anyway guys, I am going to leave you here, and I'm just going to say it, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. So yeah. Bye guys, bye!